from Pana Community Hospital, Tracy Craig, Director of Inpatient Services, and Tiffany Knapp, a registered nurse and infusion nurse. How are you guys doing today?
Great. We're good. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you guys for taking the time coming in and speaking about these very important services today. We're going to start with the outpatient services over at Pana Community Hospital. I believe Tiffany Knapp, you're the registered nurse that's dealing a lot with outpatient services. So kind of lay it out for us. What are the first things we need to know about the outpatient services at Pana Community Hospital?
Okay, so I think the first thing to know about outpatient services here is that it's an alternative for people that would normally go out of town to get these type of infusions and treatments that they can get here in our community. It goes on an individual basis, so that way we can accommodate their care and convenience for them. And we have quite a few outpatient services that are available here at Pana Community Hospital.
Wow, that is really awesome. I'm hearing the convenience piece right there, and it's great people don't have to travel too far for these important services. So take us through some of these steps here and some of the things that are offered in the outpatient services.
Okay, so some of the things that we offer are IV infusions. So it could be blood, iron, antibiotics, things that are time consuming and harder for patients to do at home.
Mm-hmm.
Non-chemo related injections, so like Prolia, things like that to help along their chemo journey, but not necessarily chemo related. We do Foley catheter changes, wound dressing changes. We do port flushes and blood draws, so that way they don't have to get it done through peripheral lines. So that way they're not having to get stuck every time they need to get blood draws.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense right there. And all the services and just making it easier on people. Like you said, these are the outpatient services. And we probably should have laid this out right at the beginning of this episode. But when we're speaking about outpatient, these are people that have gone through some sort of procedure, but they can return home and then come back to Pana Community Hospital for their procedures. How does the outpatient system work?
So typically how it works is it'll either be, that the patient has some sort of illness that's a little bit harder to treat with oral antibiotics, or they've gone through a procedure, they're going through chemo and need infusions. So the process is we get an order from their physician, and it can be any physician. It doesn't have to be within Pana Community Hospital. And once we get the order, we go through the authorization process, make sure that their insurance will cover that infusion. And then once that's done, then I usually give them a call, or one of my colleagues gives them a call, and we set up a date and time that works for them. And then they come in and get it done, and then they're on their way.
Wow, it's a very, very convenient and fast-acting way to get things done over there with Pana Community Hospital. You mentioned that this is a great alternative for people that were needing to travel out of town. Is this a newer service at Pana Community Hospital that you guys are trying to let the community know about?
So it's not a newer service. We've been doing it for a while, but lately with our inpatients being up, we've really kind of focused on outpatients and tried to pull in. Like myself, I started doing it so that way we can make sure that we can really have someone to focus on these outpatients and make sure that they're getting in a timely manner and not having to pull from the floor so much. Kind of condense it down a little bit, make it easier for everyone.
Absolutely. And that's Tiffany Knapp speaking right now, a registered nurse and infusion nurse. And you've been seeing quite a bit of the outpatient services. You've been seeing how it's worked. And have you been liking the process at Pana Community Hospital? Has it been going smooth? Has the community taken to it well?
Yeah, I do think it's been going really well. I've really enjoyed getting to know these patients. I have multiples that come back week after week for different things. And they are really enjoying being in town and seeing the same people and getting all the treatments that they need within their community.
Sure. It's just a shorter service that's needed for them, but obviously a very important one that they probably can't do themselves. So having it in town just makes it that much more important. All right, we're speaking about outpatient services at Pana Community Hospital with Tiffany Knapp, a registered nurse and infusion nurse. Tiffany, when you went into this profession, did you know you were going to become an infusion nurse? It's a great title.
I did not. I previously worked at a clinic and thought I'd retire from there, but I started working every once in a while at Pana Hospital, and I just loved it. And I loved being within my community because I'm from here. And it's just been a really good avenue for my career. And it just kind of led me here. And I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's really nice.
That's really awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Where you're supposed to be. So we're speaking right now about outpatient services that are provided at Pana Community Hospital. And you spoke on some of the IV fusion treatments, the non-chemo. Are there any other outpatient services that are worth noting?
Definitely the port draws and Foley dressing, or Foley catheter changes that we're able to do, because those are harder for people, to get done on their own. And so we definitely still do those up here, and it makes it really nice for patients. So that way they don't have to, go out of town and get all that stuff done.
Absolutely. And yet another thing you definitely can't do at home, and you don't want to travel too far to do that one right there. All right, that's Tiffany Knapp. On the other side of this conversation, we have Tracy Craig, Director of Inpatient Services. Do you have anything to add for the outpatient services happening over at Pana Community Hospital, Tracy?
Yeah, we currently set them up. Tiffany's here on certain days right now, and then that's Tuesdays from 7 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and then Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. But we do accommodate every day of the week at all times throughout the day. So it's not a matter of you have to have it done on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you can't meet those times or days, then we will accommodate otherwise. We do have people that come daily or 2 times a day to get an outpatient IV antibiotic infusion. So we do accommodate those as well.
Wow. Yeah, quite a bit of work being done at Pana Community Hospital on this. It's all really great information. You mentioned a primary care provider could send an order into Pana Community Hospital. Would that be the number one way that people could to reach your services?
Yeah, so it can be primary care. It could be a specialist that has something that they want the patient to have. And it doesn't have to be within the Pana community. It can be, we get orders, a lot of times we get them from Springfield Clinic. Sometimes we'll get them from Memorial physicians, just anywhere that the patient is seen and that they're not wanting them to have to drive back up there to get the treatment done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we work with lots of different organizations for it.
Great, and that's really great to hear when you hear the Taylorville Memorial folks get going all the way to Taylorville Memorial and then all the way to Springfield Clinic. I mean, that's a long drive for people living in Pana right there. But the services are offered at Pana Community Hospital for these outpatient services. We're speaking now with Tiffany Knapp, a registered nurse and infusion nurse, and Tracy Craig, Director of Inpatient Services with Pana Community Hospital. We're going to hear more from Tracy Craig, the Director of Inpatient Services, after the break here. My name's Tim Zalaback, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make the show possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Join me, Kirby Kasner, every Monday morning from 8:40 till 10 a.m. on the new WTIM Morning Show, live from the lobby of People's Bank and Trust in Pana. Tune in on all of WTIM's platforms for the new WTIM Morning Show from Pana, Mondays from 8:40 till 10 a.m.
Brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, your Pana Save-A-Lot, Whiskey Bill Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited.
Chip Flory here, inviting you to join the conversation as we tackle the current issues of agriculture every weekday morning at 10:06 on the Talk of Central Illinois, News Talk WTIM. I host AgriTalk, the nation's longest-running interview show dedicated to discussing agriculture issues with the newsmakers and include you in the conversation via our toll-free number. We're here weekdays mornings at 10:06. We are AgriTalk.
28 years ago, Steve and Jerry from Just Beds had a dream of becoming the yawn exterminators throughout the land of Lincoln, providing good night's sleeps for all the people. This calls for a celebration and a blowout anniversary sale. Dreaming of a new bed? This month, every Sealy mattress in the store is on sale. You can save up to $350. Just Beds 28th anniversary, where delivery, setup, and haul away are just a part of the dream.
Just Beds.
Christian County businesses now have another way to attract customers and promote their brand. The Miller Media Group's new 36 by 72 inch two-sided electronic sign is now live in front of our Park Street studios in Taylorville. We're offering businesses the opportunity of promoting themselves to the over 11,200 drivers a day that pass our studios. Reach out to your Miller Media Group account manager now to get on board with this digital electronic sign advertising opportunity.
Tuning into the baseball game, monitoring the incoming storm, catching your favorite talk show. These are just a few of the reasons more than 80 million Americans depend on AM radio each month. And did you know AM radio is the backbone of the emergency alert system? It's reliable, free, and public safety depends on it. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
It's no secret that employers are having a difficult time hiring qualified personnel, whether full or part-time. The Miller Media Group wants to help you, the employer, to find the candidates you're looking for. That's why we've created IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. This website is part of a broad radio and internet employment campaign available through the Miller Media Group. Contact your account manager or email sales at randyradio.com for more information. IllinoisJobPost.com is where we put the power of radio and the internet to attract prospective candidates.
Taylorville Estates Assisted Living encourages independence and enriches lives. Have your own apartment and enjoy 3 home-cooked meals a day. Schedule a tour and get on their waiting list by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Find out about all the products and services we provide by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to the sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. We're speaking with Tracy Craig, Director of Inpatient Services, and Tiffany Knapp, a registered nurse and infusion nurse at Pana Community Hospital. We thank them for taking the time being here with us today. That first half, we heard all from Tiffany Knapp, that registered nurse, and she really handles a lot of the outpatient services at Pana Community Hospital. Now we're going to delve into a little bit of the inpatient services, and that's all you, Tracy Craig, Director of Inpatient Services. Kind of tell us the first thing we need to know, because it's a little bit different of a process than the outpatient services.
Yeah, our inpatient services is exactly that. You are admitted to second floor to be taken care of. Most of our admissions do come through our emergency department, but we also do a direct admit from our local physicians. Like if somebody goes to the office and their physician feels like they need to be admitted, they can do a direct admission as well. They don't have to go through the ED process once we determine if they, meet the criteria to become an inpatient.
Yeah. And that makes sense. And you mentioned you need maybe a specialist or an emergency situation to have this, but are there any other qualifications that would provide inpatient services to someone?
Sometimes we do get our surgical patients. Sometimes, depending on the surgeries that you have here at Pana Community Hospital, you may need to spend a night or two after your surgery. So we do get from that aspect as well.
Yeah. So what are some of the inpatient services that are offered at Pana Community Hospital?
We do a wide variety of patient care on the med-surg floor. For example, like somebody that has a severe urinary tract infection, they may get admitted for a couple of days for some IV antibiotics, some fluids, just to monitor and make sure that they're getting proper treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Pana Community Hospital has services and programs that actually help out some of the patients, even with transportation, getting to and from home and back to their appointments, things like that. And in these outpatient services, are you guys working closely with any of those other programs that goes into the homes of patients?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. We work with Quad County Home Health and any other home health agency as well. Anything that we can do to provide what the patient needs once they no longer need an inpatient stay. Like you said, with transportation, we do and from appointments, or even if they have to go out of town for an appointment, we also provide that transportation as well.
Wow. Wow. I'm sure a lot of community members are very happy for that, just because of certain aspects like, age, if you can't drive yourself around or anything else. Very happy to have that covered by Pana Community Hospital. And you mentioned Quad County Home and Health. That's a pretty good partner. We've heard a lot of words from them, but talk to me a little bit about that partnership.
We work very close with them, with them being a partner with Pana Community Hospital. If a patient leaves here and needs therapy once they get home, they can go through Quad County or their choice of home health services. Nursing will also go into the home as well from a home health agency.
Yeah.
So yeah, we work very well together.
That's great. Do you ever have any issues of patients not wanting to leave the friendly confines of Pana Community Hospital and back into their own home? Do you ever have problems with that transition?
Oh, we do have patients that do like to stay here, and if we have a patient that comes back to us, they love the fact that they see the same friendly faces every day that they come back. So yeah, we make not just nurses and patients. We make a lot of friends out of patients as well.
I'm sure the familiar faces with outpatient, inpatient would probably tend to keep people a little bit longer, and of course having their needs met right there with all the great workers with the inpatient and outpatient services. How are you guys staffed? Is there quite a lot of people on for these days?
We do. We staff very well for our patient ratio, nurse to patient ratio. We staff very well.
That's great. And do a lot of them need to be these infusion nurses when we're talking outpatient services?
Most of the services we offer on the med surg floor can be done by any of our RNs.
Great.
So that's what makes it convenient. Even though that we have Tiffany here on the 2 days a week, we still can accommodate any other day.
Well, that's great. Guys, we're in our last couple of minutes here. I want to get anything else you guys have. So anything else on your guys' mind about outpatient services to start with? Tiffany, you've had some time to think about our conversation earlier. Anything you'd like to add? Anything that's come up to you?
I just was wanting to add with our specialists that come to Pana Community, we have quite a bit of them now. Over the last couple of years, we've really grown in this organization and brought in a lot of specialists. And so we've been able to accommodate a lot of their dressing changes and making sure, that we have everything prepped and ready to go when they come up and see them on the floor if they're inpatient. And so that's been a really great thing that Pana's done over the last few years, is really ramp up that for patients. So we can work really closely with those physicians as well to make sure that anything that they want them to have, we're able to do here as well.
Absolutely. It's always really nice to see those press releases or whatever I see of welcoming a new specialist to Pana Community Hospital, because I just know there's going to be a population of people out there that are going to be thanking you guys. Can you talk to me a little bit about or maybe list off a few of the specialists that come to your mind that might be newer to Pana Community Hospital?
Yeah, so we have Dr. Ott here. He is a foot and ankle specialist. He's here 2 days a week, and he comes up to the floor quite a bit and sees our patients. Even if they're not his patients, he's really great about touching base with us on them. We have quite a few ortho. There's too many to name, really. And then we have 3 or 4 cardiologists that come down. We have Dr. Matos has been coming here for years, and he's really wonderful. We've got Dr. Esperaz, who is oncology, and he and I actually share a lot of patients with the outpatient. But yeah, we just recently got a plastic surgeon, and so there's lots of exciting things coming to Pana.
That is all really great things. And guys, we're out of time. I appreciate you taking the time being here with me today.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. That was Tracy Craig, Director of Inpatient Services, and Tiffany Knapp, a registered nurse and infusion nurse with Pana Community Hospital. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you for listening.
Our state and local law enforcement personnel to arrest and jail illegal aliens. A ceasefire and a hostage